Hey guys, it's 7 Ninja 7, and today we're going to be talking about third-person shooters or third-person games in general. I feel like a lot of the mainstream third-person games are they're kind of like Division, um, in a sense of it's a tactical shooter, and I mean to some degree I don't mind that. Like the cover system, I get why it's there. It's to help out with getting behind cover. So I kind of get it, and also if you're using a cover system, as long as you're in cover, right, and they're not shooting above you, aiming directly down at you, I get it. Where it says, okay, because you're behind cover, you're not gonna get hit regardless, unless it just happens to be in the right angle, right? So I get it. I don't have a problem with that. Like I played Uncharted. This is not. This isn't my earliest cover shooter. Uncharted 4, I mean, but I played Uncharted 2 and 3. Those were like my main startup shooters. I didn't start out on COD or anything like that. I did play GoldenEye, 007 GoldenEye, but I wasn't really into shooters back then. Um, but one day, Pops bought Uncharted 1. I played that game. Uncharted 2 came out, played it. I was like, all right, I kind of like whatever this is. Um, but let me get maybe more sense of what I'm trying to say. What I was noticing, right, after playing the Uncharted series for as long as I did, was that there isn't a lot of third-person games that are free like this. Now you got like Genshin Impact to some degree, um, Legend of Zelda and stuff like that, but and it's not. This really isn't. This video is not really just on like third-person shooters, but it also applies to them. Um, I feel like when it comes to like third-person games, there's a lot of them where they just kind of want to keep you grounded and keep you on a horizontal plane. I haven't played them all, so look, I might have been missing something, but I feel like, um, just off personal experience, um, there's not a lot of third-person games that give me that Uncharted feel. It doesn't have to be Uncharted necessarily, right? But that freedom to move, that the verticalness I can go with, the multi with different routes I can go with, versus I feel like a lot of third-person games today are like Division. I think most Tom Clancy games are like that. Um, I think you could say that about that old Avatar shooter they made a while back. Um, I played something called recently called Vanquish, and it had a system like that. Now, Vanquish is in a sense its own version of a tactical shooter, and so I don't necessarily consider that to be the same thing. I do think if a tactical shooters are going to improve and evolve, they're probably going to have to go the Vanquish route anyway. And I say that because um, although although tactical shooters seem more slower paced, I feel like Vanquish allows more creativity in the player. It's like I'm not saying alright, let me put it like this. I don't know how Vanquish would look as a PvP game, and I'm not asking for that. But I'm saying I feel like tactical shooters like Division, um, Ghost Recon, Wildlands, and all that. I feel like they're those kind of games. They're kind of they're a little too slow, and they like how do I put it? So how do I put it? This I'm not saying methodical in a sense of I get the idea of stealthing through methodically and taking out your enemies. I get that, but that should be the player's choice. I feel like there's too much of a strict style of having everyone just go from cover to cover, aim out, shoot somebody, then go back in cover and maybe run off in that direction. I feel like there's just too much of that. And I would love to see something more like Uncharted or like Ghost of Tsushima. Um, Both of these games were kind of Ghost of Tsushima kind of reminded me that these games exist like this, where there's third-person games that have climbing system. There's third-person games that have shooters with shooter elements with also having a good melee system of some kind. Like, and there's like, there's more depth to his maps. Now Ghost of Tsushima Legends doesn't have, a multiplayer, but I feel like, well, not multiplayer. It has a multiplayer, but it doesn't have a PvP. Now it doesn't have PvP, but there's room in the game to believe that PvP could be there. There's enough evidence there that says their PvP could be there. Um, and so that's where I'm like, I think PvP could work in that game. But what I'm really saying though, just to rehash what I'm really saying, is that I really feel like third-person games seem to go down the route of Uncharted and Ghost of Tsushima. I feel like there's more room and more creativity that the game developers themselves can go with. Like I said, tactical shooters are slow and methodical, but they're always slow and methodical. There's nothing wrong with stealthing through an area, but there is a problem when that's really your main tactic. I mean, you can go balls to the wall in Division, but let's be completely real. You're not jumping around, climbing onto these different cars and ladders and stuff without running up to. You don't have to go in a single file line. Like, you have to go in a single file line and go ladders. What I really meant, but like you don't have the freedom to go around like that. Ghost of Tsushima Legends, yeah, there is climbing paths. I'm not gonna act like there isn't, but there's more ways to get to another location. Especially if you're playing like you're trying to go roof to roof. You're trying to go from ground to air. Like, there's more. What's the word I'm looking for? There's more openness. There's more creativity. There's more expansion, I guess. And so I'm thinking like, I played Uncharted. I remember I loved this game. I loved the whole series, the multiplayer, the regular campaign, co-op. I loved that. But I couldn't find it anywhere. Like, I couldn't find another game that gave me that same feel. Tomb Raider, they tried to copy. I feel like they tried to copy the Uncharted feel, but it's not there yet. Sure, arguably Tomb Raider's got its own feel, and I'm not gonna say it doesn't. I just feel like the Legends series, for the Tomb Raider series, was better than the current new one. I think the newest stuff is more about the story than it is the gameplay. But I will certainly say that the story of current Tomb Raider is really, really good. Or at least it's good enough that I want to follow it. It's not good enough that I'd want to play every single game. Like, I'd probably watch a walkthrough or something on there. But I've been missing this Uncharted feel, and I don't know what we could call the Uncharted feel of type of game. Maybe I thought like maybe 3PT S or something, but to be completely fair, tactical shooters would get that. But you know what? It's still, you can't really have. I don't. Tactical shooters are a thing for first person. I think first person, no matter what, you can still just like get in like cover by crouching behind it. So maybe I can go with 3PT, but what I want to have is more Uncharted-like games. So I kind of want to give a little more information on me. Just to kind of explain like my line of thinking when it comes to my character style, why I choose what I choose. If you've seen any of my earlier videos, then you have some idea what I play like. You've seen what I'm going for. And to anyone that is this their first time watching me, so my style of play is I've always really liked Shinobi. Not your Naruto type Shinobi. Look, I like Naruto. I like Naruto more than Dragon Ball. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, at me. But as much as I liked Naruto, right? I didn't really find him. I didn't really find Naruto's group of Shinobi to be really stealthy. There are the Anbu Black Ops, but I was never really the biggest fan of that. Somewhere down the line, though, I had seen a guy named like Gajin Goomba, and he's doing like a real ninja, and I kind of liked what he was showing. I kind of like so some of my ideas you probably seen. You're like, I mentioned in there like my references are Gajin Goomba. I think the dude's name is Anthony Cummings or Andrew Cummings. Look that up. That guy talks about Shinobi. and the Nintendo channel, and I always reference them whenever I make a build, um, specifically made for like the Ninja experience. But they were they weren't necessarily my inspiration, but God, I truly believe Gajin Guma got me into the idea of Shinobi, like what the real version of a Shinobi was, and it kind of like I liked that style. But I realized I liked that style before I even knew about Gajin Guma, before I had like um decent enough internet, right? I liked that style of play. Like I would play like that when I'm playing like old GameCube games and stuff. Like that was just my style. I don't really know why I did that. I don't have a clue. But it was just something that, I really really enjoyed. I loved being an assassin. Um I'm not going to kill somebody in real life and all that. That's not what I'm going to do. But, I love that style of play. I enjoyed that style of play. There's something about feeling like Batman, even though, Batman doesn't kill. But it was something about being like that I really enjoyed. Um, and so, yeah, that was really just, that little tangent was more or less to tell you more about myself. But the biggest issue I found when I was playing third-person shooters and third-person games in general is that, all right, let me put it out there too. I don't necessarily mind there being jutsus and things in games where, like, it helps you do certain motions. I'm gonna go for a style, maybe a weapon type, maybe an elemental type or something, whatever. I'm gonna try to get that, and I'm gonna try to mimic that style, that my style in general, as much as possible in the game, if possible. Right, so that's not necessarily a problem if it's there or not. But I've always found that like there's a lot of third-person games where they don't necessarily have a way to do that. Like, they're not free enough that I can traverse pretty good. There's no way to move necessarily fast. There's nothing in the game that allows me to feel like I can be as creative as I want to. And I feel like when I was playing Ghost of Tsushima Legends, when I was playing Uncharted, I was thriving. I really, really enjoyed these games. So, alright, so you're looking at my video, you're probably thinking, okay, this is just really more your own personal feelings, and I get that. But, like, this is pretty much what I've been looking for. I'm looking for something like this. I love the freedom when you pounce down upon 3 different guys. If you ever played the Batman Arkham series, they got this thing in Arkham Knight where it's like a multi takedown, a fear takedown, right? Where you take out like more than like 3 people at one time. Yeah, you can do that in other shooters and things, but in Uncharted it looks more cinematic, I guess. And I say that because, like, I wish I recorded it. I would love to have shown you guys like this perfect C4 throw I did today. But it took out basically like 3 different guys, and like one guy comes in like later on to revive one of the earlier guys I had downed, and I'm unloading on him while also finding another guy that's coming in behind him. So it's like 5 guys in total. But I'm taking out these guys all in like a cinematic movie action combat like setting. And this all happened because of a trap I laid down or something, right? It's all happened because of there. I get to see my character doing it, making the motions, and I'm also more immersed because I've created this character that's supposed to be me, or I have created a style of character that's supposed to be me, so that I can play in a way that allows me to be creative enough to be a shinobi. Alright. And I know that sounds a little messed up what I was trying to say. Like, it didn't really make any sense now that I'm thinking about it. But, like, yeah. So now I kind of want to explain what the Uncharted feeling is. The Uncharted feeling is basically being able to create your own movie scenes within a match by making a strong play that ends up working out in your favor. It's something that you can do naturally. It happens in real time, and everyone's had their moments where they did a famous scene in a movie that they, like you did something kind of cool without really staging it or anything. It just happened just like that. And you're like, you see like those old memes of like, mom, get the camera. Like, you know, like, or someone got like a 360 no scope and all that. Like, they did something really special. Well, the Uncharted feel gives me that feeling. It has the ability to allow me to do something like that. It gives me the mechanics, the character flow, the animations give me that feeling that I can do these cinematic, action-packed moments, these stealth-killing, action-packed moments, right? And I can do them on my own. I don't need a tool assister of any kind. I can just do it. There's something there for me to do. I'm not locked behind anything. There's some way to do it. It's just more or less, how am I going to do it? How have I planned to do it? And that's going to be all on me. So it pretty much says, if you want to enjoy this feeling, I always say, like, for people that play multiplayer, if you really want to feel like you're playing the campaign in multiplayer, you got to get good. It's like taking that I'm destroying them campaign feeling and bringing that over to your multiplayer. I feel like that's like the best way I can put that. Like, you're gonna have to study, like, if you're, especially for people that do like game design and all that, like, they're gonna have to actually just study like what the Uncharted game style is like, yeah. But if we're talking about how does this game make me feel, what am I searching for in a game, why do I like this kind of game, I feel like that's like the best way I can really explain that. If you have any other questions about the Uncharted feel, the 3PTS thing that I talked about, just leave a comment and I will try to get to as much as possible. Maybe I'll make a part 2 to this episode. But until then, you know, thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you guys later. Anyway, check out Uncharted and the Ghost of Tsushima Legends if you want to have a better understanding of the Uncharted film. Bye.